In this recording, I'll demonstrate how to create a timetable for a class and allocate subjects to the various slots in the timetable. So in order to create a timetable, under the academic section, there's manage timetable. Click on timetable, and here you would find a list of timetables of which you've created. So what I'm going to do is to create a timetable for class 5. So I name it class 5 timetable. And for the class, the lesson starts at 8 a.m. for each day. There are 6 lessons for the day, and for each lesson, we have 60 minutes interval. For the class, we have the days on which they attend school, so which is a Monday to Friday by default. We have the break times by default. We have a 10 a.m. to 10:30 for the first break, and then we have a second break from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., which is an hour break. This can be set up and then changed to reflect what is being used in the school. Once we have our date and then everything set up, we can proceed to save the timetable. After saving, we then proceed to allocate subjects to the various slots. We can do that under the allocate timetable here, or we have the allocate timetable here. Once we click on allocate, you can switch between the various classes and then update it. Now we have a few instructions here of which we would have to follow to update our timetable. The first one is drag and drop a course or subject from the right panel to the required slot. So these are our slots, and as you can see, we have our break, we have our lunch break here. It says double click on a slot to clear it, which is after we've assigned a subject, we can double click to clear it. Then conflicting slots are indicated in red and would contain the number of batches affected. So for Monday morning, we are saying we have English language. We take the subject, we drag, and then we drop it in the slot. So we have our English language for our first item. And afterwards, we have what? Information ICT in our second slot. Yes, so we can now proceed. Can pick a third subject here. Now, what happens is if I repeat a subject, we would have an indication here that the subject integrated science is allocated 2 times on Monday. So the expectation is that we have 1 subject per day. It is once it exceeds 2, you wouldn't be able to update it. So I'd proceed to fill in and complete this timetable. Okay, so we have our timetable really set up right here. So we've been able to complete the various subjects and then everything. Now we can proceed to save our timetable. We have successfully saved our timetable, and as part of the process, we can preview the timetable or download it if we want to download. So here, this is our timetable that has been nicely generated, which the teacher would have access to and then be able to know the subjects they do have for the day. Note that this timetable is also available and would also be visible by the student. So let's go to class 5. For instance, the student, we go to the timetable, and as you can see here, this is the timetable for the class, and the student will be able to see this. The teacher, when logged in, would be able to see the various classes they do have for the day, and the student would also see the subjects they have for the day. So as easily as it is, under the timetable, you have your various timetable created. So you then proceed to allocate classes. You select, you drag and drop into the various sections. Now here we have an interesting message. So I selected citizenship and then I dropped it here, and we received an indication that the teacher has citizenship lesson for class 5. So here, right there and then, you can be able to tell that the teacher has already been allocated to this class and it is going to clash. So Benjamin cannot be allocated to the same 8 a.m. class for class 4 because he has already been allocated to teach class 5 in the morning between 8 and 9 a.m. So we can take this one off here and then try another subject. And as you can see nicely, there was no error indicating that the teacher is occupied. So we can proceed. Let's try another one. Yeah, so the teacher is also does not have a class here. So with the timetable, you are able to nicely okay, so the teacher, same teacher teaches class 4 and class 5 and they have lessons there, so we cannot. Okay, so yeah, okay, so this actually helps you and then helps the school when planning your timetable, because right here you can be able to tell that the teacher has been allocated. You can actually save and then continue later once you are done. So yes, that is it's on the timetable implementation so easily, so nicely. It can be done and updated.